Hello there. Welcome back to Grade 10 Economics. In this video, we want to look, still working at the question paper of November 2023. In this question, we are going to look at question 5, which is on macroeconomics. And this is an essay question that we have here that we want to look at according to this video. So our question, you can see that our question has got 40 marks, and obviously it requires you to spend on average 10 minutes on that question. The relationships are between them. So this is the question, and then we go to the field as South Africa. It's already your additional got 10 marks. So according to this video, we are only going to look at the main body. But of the introduction, remember, you are supposed to try to explain in terms of any concept or any keyword that appears in the question. But you are also supposed to take note that in the introduction, you do not have to include a part of the question in the introduction. So very important for you to take note of that. And then also avoid saying what we are going to discuss in the body, in the introduction. So whatever we're going to discuss in the body should not be mentioned in the introduction. They are very important points that you should note. So according to the question, obviously, we have a circular flow that you can try to explain or describe in the introduction. And also we've got open economy that you can describe in the introduction. So basically, that's how we are going to come up with the introduction. But going on to our main body, the question requires us to discuss in detail 4 participants that we have in the circular flow in an open economy. But we know that an open economy is an economy that engages in international trade, whereby it's an economy that interacts with other economies. Then you say it's an open economy. Remember, the opposite becomes a closed economy, whereby the economy is not interacting with other economies that are outside or other countries. There is no international trade that is taking place. So that will say it's a closed economy. So our open, we are saying we are interacting with other countries. We are engaging in international trade. We are in globalization. That's how we say we are in an open economy. And also, we allow foreign direct investment in our country. So basically, that's the description that we have in terms of open economy. But going back to our question, you'd see that our question requires us, so we should take note of the key components that we have in terms of 4 participants. Remember, we've got the households, we've got the government, we've got the foreign sector, and also we've got the firms. So that those are 4 participants that we have in the circular flow. And according to our question now, we see that we are supposed to first describe the participant. For example, we're going to start looking at households, then you describe the participant that is households, and then you also try to state its elements. What elements we find in the household as a participant, and then explain how it is interrelated to other participants in terms of the we are talking about the real flow. When we are talking about the real flow, we are talking about the flow of goods and services between the maybe if you're talking about the household, between the household and for example with the government or the firms or the foreign sector. So that's the interrelation that we'll be talking about this, about that. So it's all about the interconnectedness that is there between the participants. It should be mentioned when we're now talking about the interrelationship that is there. And also, we're talking about the interconnectedness in terms of real flow. And we said real flow is the goods and services. And then we also look at the flow in the form of the money flow. Money flow, we're talking about the flow of income and basically the flow of income that is there between the participants. So this is what we have in terms of how we are going to approach the question. So we're going to try to look at the other section. So on the other section now, that's where we have the households is the first participant that we're going to look at. And the explanation that we have there, we're trying to decide what is a house and supply a factor of production in the form of labor to firms. So we know that households, that where we are going to see the workers coming from and supplying labor. And the next point is saying primarily in the form of wages, which is correct also. And last point, households allocate their income to consumption, saving, and payment of taxes. So after saving the income, the households, they allocate the income to consumption, saving, and payment of taxes. This is just in the form of a summary. So when we go to interrelationship now, we are now saying how is it connected to other participants that we have in the circular flow. So first point is saying households act as consumers purchasing goods and services from firms. So they purchase goods and services from firms. Firms are also the participants. So we are seeing that this is a movement of the real flow, whereby goods and services are moving from the firms to the households. The next point, I say the consumption expenditure is a crucial source of revenue for firms. So we are seeing that now it's going as a money flow now to the firms, and then at this point the households, we know that in form of revenue, so which helps fund public goods and services. So this is the last point that we have. So basically, on the relationship section, we are just trying to see how it is connected to it. So we go to the next participant, which now we are having firms. So firms, also known as business or producers, are economic entities that produce goods and services using the factors of production supplied by households. So on the first point now, we are trying to describe what exactly are firms, and then second point, firms. We're seeing now that how does the firms get their revenue? They get their revenue by selling now their products, and obviously these products are going to be sold to the households, and also it can be also the government. So as a market, as a circular flow participant, also even the foreign sector also. So this is what we have. And on the interrelationship, we're now looking at how connected is it now to other. The firms produce goods and services that are consumed by and receive revenue from their sales. So it is correct. So we are seeing the movement now of money flow and the real flow. Goods and services are now moving to households as real flow, and then we are having the income now coming in the form of the sales revenue to firms. Then we go to the next point. Firms employ labor and other factors of production provided by households, paying wages, salaries, and other forms of compensation. Revenue. So we are seeing that the money flow also is moving from the firms to the government in the form of the payment of taxes, so which is going to contribute to the government revenue. So this is what we have. Then we go to the next participant that we have, which is going to be the government, is also one of the participants. The government plays a crucial role in the circular flow model. It provides public goods and services, regulates economic activities, and implements fiscal and monetary policies. So that is what we mean by the government. So remember, on the first part, we are giving a description of the market, the participant that we are looking at, collect taxes, incur expenditures, and redistribute income through various programs. So we are seeing the movement of income. That's what we then we try to look at the next section. So on the next section now, we are looking at the interrelationship, the connectedness that that is there between the government and other participants. So we are looking at the first point, saying the government collects taxes from both households and firms, which form a significant portion of government revenue. So we are seeing that the movement of the money flow now from the households to government, and also from the firms to the government through collection of taxes. That's the revenue collection by the government. So this becomes the source of income. Folks are used to finance the care and defense. So we are seeing that government now are having that income in form of the money flow. They are now they now give back in the form of the provision of services that we are having there, and that we are being that is being highlighted as education, and now becomes a part of the flow that we have from a real point of view. So these goods and services from firms such as defense equipment or infrastructure projects, fiscal policies such as taxation of households and firms. So we are seeing that the government also is in charge of the fiscal policy, whereby there is now implementing its policy using two main instruments that are mentioned there, where we have taxation and also we have government spending as to the which makes the two main instruments that are being implemented in the fiscal policy. Participate that will be foreign sector, which is domestic economy and the rest of the world. It includes the main center which surrounds the foreign sector, which I think that is the issue of international trade, whereby we are having the movement of goods and services in and out of the country through imports and exports. And also it integrates the issue of foreign investments and also international borrowing. So going to the interrelationships, we are now looking at the connectedness that is transpires between the foreign sector with other participants that we are having there. Then on the first point, saying the foreign sector imports goods and services produced by firms in the domestic economy. So the goods and services are produced by firms in the domestic economy. We are seeing that the foreign sector now imports. So basically, the foreign sector is representing now the foreign countries that are there, but are now buying from our local economy. That's now they are importing those goods and services produced by firms in the domestic economy. That's what we are having on the first point. And then going to the next point is saying this provides revenue to domestic firms and affects their production and decisions. So obviously, that's now the movement of money flow that is taking place from the foreign sector to the local economy. So the revenue that is being collected by the firms when they sell those goods outside the country. Then we have got next point, which reads domestic firms export goods and services to the foreign sector, generating income from foreign countries. So this is the form of exports now. Then the foreign sector can also invest in domestic firms, providing capital and influencing domestic investment, domestic investment environment. So this is now the process of foreign direct investment, whereby now the foreign sector is the foreign countries come and open their business in our local economy, which is actually described as the foreign direct investment. Obviously, there's a movement again. The interconnectedness now is also being highlighted there. Then we've got the circular flow model illustrates the interconnectedness of these participants. So this is just a summary of what we've just discussed there. The circular flow model illustrates the interconnectedness of these participants, highlighting how income, goods, and services flow among them. Then it emphasizes the interdependence of households, firms, the government. So this is what we've on the four main participants in the circular flow. Then on the next part that we have is the internal part, whereby we are looking at how BRICS membership helps South Africa with its foreign sector trade and relationships. So obviously, we are seeing that the main aim of BRICS is to focus on economic cooperation and collaboration among member countries. So the issue of economic cooperation and collaboration, we are seeing that it also surrounds the main element of international trade. So the exchange of goods and services that exists between nations is being described by the economic cooperation and collaboration that is transpiring between those member countries. So by cooperation, we are saying cooperation includes it includes sharing of technology, expertise, knowledge, and many other aspects. So this is the explanation that we have in terms of the main drive behind BRICS, which is on economic cooperation and collaboration among member countries. So I will say that the abbreviation for BRICS stands for B, we've got Brazil, R, we've got Russia, I, India, and C, China. Then obviously S is South Africa. So that sums up the countries that are inside the BRICS. So going back to our question, is saying how is BRICS membership help South Africa with its foreign sector trade relationships? So obviously there is promotion of exchange of goods and services between member nations that should exist between those countries. So basically our explanation is going to be centered on that. So on the first point is saying being a member of BRICS provides South Africa with the opportunity to enhance trade and investment with other member countries. So this is now just the facilitation of international trade that is being explained in the first point. The next point, it can lead to increased bilateral trade and investment flows, as well as the exploration of new markets for foreign goods and services. Obviously, with being a member of BRICS, we are going to explore new markets, which are markets of other countries that are inside BRICS. So it becomes also a benefit to our local economy. Then we go to the next point. South Africa can benefit from greater access to the large and trade. And then our next point, BRICS membership fosters economic cooperation and collaboration among member countries. So this is exactly as we are trying to explain that it facilitates the issue of collaboration between those member countries. Then go to the next one. This can lead to the sharing of best practices and knowledge and expertise in various sectors, including technology, infrastructure, agriculture, and finance. So you see that the issue of a facilitation of cooperation also goes beyond the exchange of goods and services, exchange of goods. It also goes and integrates the issue of the exchange of knowledge, the exchange of expertise in various sectors. It also includes the issue of technology, infrastructure that we also enjoy through interaction with other member countries. So this is what we have on this point. Then we go to the next point. Such cooperation can contribute to economic development and benefit now to our local economy. Then our next point, BRICS is established financial institutions like the New Development Bank and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement. So we have these financial institutions that are there to assist the member countries inside BRICS in terms of funding. So this becomes a source of funding for any infrastructure development that might be in progress in the local economy, which becomes a benefit to the government of South Africa because sources of finance, the sources of finance are now being widened. So we have at this point that we have here, and we are having those institutions being mentioned as NDB and CRA. And then next point, these institutions aim to provide financial support and stability to member countries, particularly during times of economic crisis. Obviously, the main aim of this financial institution is to provide financial support and stability to member countries. So we go to the last point, saying South Africa can access funding from this institutional development initiative. So this is the part of the additional part that we have in terms of how BRICS membership can help South Africa with its foreign sector trade relationships. So this is what we have. So obviously, only now we are now we have to go to the conclusion, which goes after that additional part, whereby you are going to conclude your essay. But obviously, as we know, in our conclusion, you can provide a value judgment in terms of the discussions that we've gone through in the main body. And you can also give an opinion on the facts discussed, or you can also take an option of giving recommendations of what you have discussed above. So this is what we have in the conclusion. But obviously, you are not supposed to mention some of the facts that we discussed in the main body in the conclusion. So very important to take note of that. So obviously, this is what we have, guys, according to this video. Hopefully, the video was helpful. Let's stay tuned for more videos to come. Let's subscribe and share. Let's share the link to our colleagues who are doing retail economics. More typical examination questions are going to be uploaded on this channel. As for this video, I'm signing out. We'll meet again in the next video.